Miller, lovely cushioned header. But Gerrard! Oh, you beauty! What a head, son! What a head!
All right, episode 4 of the Aussie Reds. Yeah, not a good one to start with this morning. We just played Manchester United at Old Trafford, and it couldn't have gone any worse. It was, I'm excuse my introduction today. I'm not really psyched to do this podcast, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. We will look forward, but straight onto the host Andrew now, mate. At Old Trafford, you know, what were your thoughts? I've got mine, but let's start with yours.
For me, the elephant in the room was midfield.
Yeah,
I mean, we can look at Trent Alexander-Arnold. We can look at Bobby, which had a terrible game as well. But we lost the midfield. You lose the midfield, you lose the game. You don't control the midfield, you don't control the game. If you're going to start Elliot Milner and without Fabinho, I would have thought he would have rested Fabinho for the Bournemouth game. If you're going to rest him at all, and I know he hasn't been playing well. How does he miss that game, Darren? How did Fabinho not start that game? How do you put a 36-year-old in that game? And you knew United had to come out and give us a performance. Look, I'll just say quickly, they deserved it. They
100%.
played better. They wanted it more, and that's it. So, you know, if they want to have their little victory, and you know,
as much as on this podcast, I've shared how much I hate them, and you know, but I will get. They deserved the win today. As much as I hate them, they deserved it. They came out, and you know, if they played, they ripped us. Like,
they did.
How did that happen? Like, I mean, we know how it happened. We know how it happens. It's the elephant in the room that we've been sounding like a broken record.
Because
everyone's saying the same thing. Their midfield is woeful. For a team that we missed the title by a point last year. We made it to the Champions League final. We're on the cusp of winning a quadruple last year. We can't go out and sign a couple of midfielders but yet United land, you know, and then United go out and splash cash and get Casemiro in a day. And
I'm not even
look
saying
where they're sitting. Like, not that I'm saying I wanted Casemiro, but the fact that they could go out and get a big signing,
100%. But we've never competed. Now, I've been FSG out from the moment Klopp came in. I was FSG out before Klopp came in.
You've always been FSG.
Because for me, I always thought they got lucky with Klopp. Klopp's turned the club around, and his staff. To be fair, I used to like the assistant a lot, the brain before he left. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, but you got Pep Linders now, which
but Pep Linders was there before.
Yeah, he was, but now he's more of he's an assistant role now, you know.
Yeah. I mean, he wrote a book on intensity. Where I was about to swear. Let's keep it due. Where was the intensity in that game? Where was it?
There was nothing. The defense was shocking. Van Dijk was shocking. Gomez was shocking. I can't really say.
They didn't have a midfield to protect them.
Exactly, 100%. They didn't have the midfield protected. Which leads me to right. Again, out of the first 3 games, we've conceded a goal on their first shot on target. Fulham, first shot on target, goal. Crystal Palace, first shot on target, goal. Manchester United, okay, they hit the post. Well, technically, that's off target when it hits the post. When Sancho scored, first shot on target, goal. So the first 3 games of this season, the first shot our opposition had has been a shot on target, and it's ended up being a goal. Now, what does that tell you? We're getting opened up. We're getting opened up on everywhere. It's frustrating.
It's ridiculous. And the thing is, you're telling me
it's the first time in a while that I've seen our defense, like when we're on the defense, like the last 3 games, I'm petrified. I'm thinking, man, what's going on? They're going to lick a goal. Like, there was a time there where I thought we were going to, after Rashford scored and they were coming in, I thought, man, we're going to get smashed here. This is going 3 or 4-0. You could feel it. And
for me, I have to put Alisson as an 8 out of 10 that game, because if it wasn't for him, that scoreline would have been.
Yeah, he pulled off a couple of key saves. He certainly did, and it was just so. It's hard again. I said it in the Fulham game. That first half against Fulham, I'll go back to that because I said in the podcast back then on episode 2 that it was heartbreaking. This is shredding. This is ridiculous. You shouldn't.
I'm pretty sure Shannon should show you this game, your partner, not Fulham game, because this hurts more.
100% it does. This is just,
But take United out of it, Darren. If
Okay,
FSG,
yeah, exactly.
FSG, if they love this football club, which whatever, now's the time. How can you watch that game and think we don't need a centre midfielder?
Everyone's saying it.
I
The
love
commentators.
Oxlade-Chamberlain. Yeah, they're all saying it. You could see at the start of they're saying it more
I
and
reckon
more.
my 8-year-old could pick that.
Thiago, I love him. Ox, I love him. Keita, I like him too. All three of them I like. But the point is, they're all injury prone.
Yeah.
They're always injured.
What happens when you got injury-prone players? Unfortunately, you have to let them go and get someone who isn't injury-prone, who's going to rock up every week, you know?
I mean, the thing is, how can he start a game against United with a 36-year-old Henderson that can't look? I like Henderson if he's playing at least with which I've been very critical of him. But if it's a Fabinho and someone like a Frankie De Jong or a Fabinho with Wijnaldum, someone like Henderson to do some of that dirty work, as long as we're going to play that can take the ball and drive it forward. Look, young Harvey Elliott, that game he was the best of the three in midfields again.
Yeah, and he didn't have the support. It didn't really have the support around him either. Like, you know, he's a young one. He's a young one in the team where he's.
I know you said that Milner's 36, 46, 56, 106. If he's in the team, Darren, there's got to be a certain performance that you like.
Oh yeah, and look, I know you've been very critical. Like again, I said to you,
I'm holding back.
It's not Milner.
I'm holding back.
It's not. Look, at the end of the day, Milner, like he does put in a shift when he comes on. He might not be the greatest midfield player that we've got because of his age and all that, and you know maybe a multitude of other things. But like you know, I mean, you can't rely too much. You can't rely on him too much in that midfield to do correct. Right? And that's exactly right. So he's trying. He's probably fucking thinking, oh, sign a midfielder because I'm 36 and I'm sick of coming out here trying to fucking make a difference.
He should be, okay, you know, if we're winning 2-1 and it's the other way around, you bring him on with 15 minutes of the game, do some dumb tackles. They're going to be aggressive trying to get the ball forward. Just get him to, he's going to do a couple of one yellow card. Maybe he's even get sent off just to break up the play, right? Just to stop them from playing. You don't bring him on. You don't start the game with him against United when we need to control. But the problem is, what I want to go back to what I said about FSG. How can you watch that game and think, we don't need a centre midfielder? Or Klopp says it's got to make sense. After watching that game, how does it not make sense? You're telling me that we can't find – I don't necessarily want to Casemiro. That's not our profile. We don't sign those players.
Correct. Like I said, I was just using that as a foundation. Yeah, I
know. United, how much money have they spent, Darren? We're not even in the same league. Could you imagine if Klopp could spend the same money that – and all the United fans and Glazers out. Bro, they spend so much money. Okay, it hasn't worked out for them. Okay, they've got the wrong football people in charge. They don't have a direct, right? If they had like a Klopp, just Klopp, that's it, and his staff. Like you look at Manchester United when they had Ferguson and David Gill. When they had David Gill and Alex Ferguson, they were taking over the whole operation, and that's why when they left a hole there. But the point is, they spend money. They're trying to now okay, their transfers have been probably not that great, but the point is they're spending money. They're trying. If FSG love this football club, Klopp says if it makes sense, how can you not make sense? What's he going to say? He can't come out and say we need a centre midfielder because he doesn't want to, bring down the morale of his existing team. Klopp doesn't come out ever and say anything terrible about we need this, we need that. Well, he doesn't do that, right? It's not his style. But if FSG love this football club, and it's not just a business, which I believe it is, prove me wrong. Go out, you're telling me you can't find someone to fill those boots. And, okay, it's got to make sense. Fair enough. Don't sign a Casemiro. That doesn't make sense. But go out and get a midfielder. You're telling me we can't get a Frankie de Jong. We won the Champions League. We won the FIFA World Cup. We won the Premier League, all recent. We won all the best trophies. The FA Cup, the Carling Cup.
We were in the Champions League final last year. We've missed out on the time by 1 point. How the hell are we not able – or we are. It just FSG has just continued to be as tight as a fish's arsehole. That's frustrating. And the
thing is, if we go into the season like this, we're going to struggle to make top four.
Yeah, like I think I said last week, I said based on the last 2 games, we're going to struggle to make the top 4. It's again early days, but based on those last 3 performances, we're in some serious trouble.
How can you seriously just think? Now they're just going to be like, we don't want to spend any money. That's what it is. They just don't want to do it because in January, it's even harder to get players. And January, I don't even necessarily think that is a good time to bring in players. Although our best players, I think we signed Fabinho, Alisson,
Yeah,
I think
it's
I
a
think we
weird
made
one,
some
isn't it?
great January transfers,
Yeah,
but
I think Suarez was a January transfer too back in the day. I'm pretty sure he come through the January. I
Van
can't be
Dyke was
certain. I can't be
Van Dyke
certain, but
was a January transfer, I
I think
believe.
it was. I think when like Kenny came in and took over, and then Kenny
Okay.
Dalglish brought in Suarez and Andy
But I
Carroll.
remember at the start of the season, you had Andy Carroll and Suarez at the start of the season together.
I could be wrong. I'll have to go and double check that.
Van Dyke was a summer, because remember we made it to that's the first Champions League final we made in that Real Madrid game, because he came in and you could tell that was an instant improvement, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But traditionally, January is just not a good time.
No, not at all. And yeah, look, you need to get and look, yeah, you
And
need
Jude
to.
Bellingham, another centre midfielder. I don't want to
I heard lots of rumors about him floating around. Like,
I mean,
whether it,
is another English player that's overrated, because we don't really need any more of them. Like, I'd rather go and get someone that isn't English, pay less, and just, I don't know. Look, I don't know we've got Elliott, we've got Henderson, we've still got Oxlade-Chamberlain. Who's going to buy Oxlade-Chamberlain? The guy's injured all the time. And I like him, but we need someone like that. We need someone to get the ball and drive it. We need someone to me, that went out and was so important for that gegenpress to go and win the ball back high up the pitch. There's not much to say about it, mate. I'm saying the same thing in circles.
Well, and the same, like the stat come up that we've conceded the first in the last 7 Premier League games of us. That's shock. That's not a good stat. Even though we've turned the majority of them around, doesn't matter. You can't look. I don't matter how good you are. You can't be chasing games like that every game. Like, look, today was obvious. We conceded early and we lost 2-1. We couldn't turn that around. There was no I had my messages were blowing up just after half time, and when it was I got a mate of mine. He goes, it was 2-0, and I said, mate, you know what? You well deserved. He goes, no, I don't trust this United team. You guys will probably get 2. I said, mate, I couldn't even when it was 1-0, I still thought we were going to lose.
Yeah,
I said, mate, we're not going to. It didn't look like we're going to score. Obviously, Salah scored, but it did not look like we were going to score. Like, how the hell? Like, it's frustrating. Like, the first 25 minutes of that first half was just all Manchester United, a team that's been absolutely shocking for the past. How many, even the last couple of years. But more so he changed it around. He changed the team. You had no Maguire,
no Ronaldo. He just tried to play the press energy, and they did. And
it took us circa 28 minutes for us to press to get the ball back. That's not Liverpool. That's not the Liverpool that we've been watching. Again, it's just the same old thing. Goes back to the midfield. Took us 28 minutes to at least mount an attack. And the thing that was also frustrating is that when Bruno nearly scored that own goal, and Varane had 2 touches on the goal line before any Liverpool player went anywhere near him.
Yeah.
What the heck? He had time. He had time. Like when Bruno hit it, he went 1, 2, third touch clear.
And you're watching everyone.
What are they watching?
You're watching.
What the hell are you doing? What? They were just ball watching that. That should have been a goal. In all fairness, that.
And see what
we didn't even. Like Varane had all the different. I can't believe that we had all the play in this box, and he had time to control that to clear it. With 1, 2, third touch to clear it. Unbelievable.
I hope Nunez was watching, because part of that loss was his fault for being an idiot and reacting. And okay, he was bullied that game. He was bullied, and
but you just got to crack on with it.
I mean, Salah gets hit all the time. He gets hit all the time. They crunch him. He just gets up. He doesn't react. I think he reacted with Bruno, but to get the ball back. But hopefully he's watching, because that part of that loss was us. I mean, how do you put a 20-year-old kid who turns 20 tomorrow to try to turn the game around? You got Harvey Elliott. These young kids, they're good talent, trying to turn the game. Where is the leadership? Where is what was Henderson? What was the point? And actually, Darren, I didn't see it because I was away. I think I was still getting dressed for work. Where the first substitution when Fabinho came on, who was it for?
Oh, I missed it. I think
it wasn't Milner, because Milner came off the second time.
No, Henderson come off. Yeah,
you take off the captain.
Yeah, you took off Hendo and you left Milner on, which I thought was a big. I mean, Yeah, 100%. But the starting lineup, when it happened, when you've seen Elliott, Miller, and Henderson in the same team in the same midfield, man, you just straight away thinking, if we're going to win, it's going to be like a 1-0, or
it's a set piece.
And United came out and they schooled us. A team again, it just unbelievable
because they worked out they worked out let's run it Alexander Arnold. Let's those diagonal balls down the side we don't deal with. The second balls we weren't very good in the first. Whole game,
second balls, the same thing that happened.
We hunt down the second balls.
Second balls, man. No one's challenged. No one's just. It's been such a lackluster start to the season as well. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, again, yeah, we need a midfielder. Like, but we have the quality in the team right now to have 9. We should have 9 points from those first 3 games of the squad that we got.
Exactly. That's what I was saying last game. We still had enough to win.
We're still enough to win.
But we're not going to win the title without midfield. And our midfield's another year older.
100%.
Our midfield's another year older. There's going to be more games. Okay, we've got the World Cup, which is, I think, it's crazy.
Oh, that can't. It is, and that can't come soon enough now. Jesus Christ! I hope.
Why would you come to Australia when it's winter time, right? But no, because Qatar, Anyway, I won't say this.
There's a lot of people that obviously, Eric Cantona's obviously come out and said he's not supporting that World Cup at all because of the way. I don't know exactly what he said, but the way they treated the workers when they built the stadiums and stuff. And
I mean, come on.
I don't know.
Anyway, you can't have a World Cup in the middle of this season. This is ridiculous. Now, look, I know you're probably about to say that we're going to get to a break. Okay, fair enough, but that could be disruptive. I mean, which English players playing for England? I don't know, but you.
Yeah, I said, I think I just want it to because I'm just. I feel like we just need to regroup. I feel like we just need to regroup again.
No,
we just need something. Like
who's coming back
on Saturday? Sorry, go for it. You're right.
Who's coming back for Bournemouth in midfield?
I don't think we've got anyone coming back. I mean,
is Keita? I think Keita's training, isn't he?
Yeah, but I don't know. Like he was a surprise pull out from the game. Apparently, like all of a sudden wasn't made available, and he's vocally come out, or rumors mill start about him not being happy. And I'm like, which I don't. You can't really blame him considering
he wants to play.
He wants to play.
He put Milner, 36-year-old, in front of him.
Correct, and then you got.
But he might be injured. He might not be physically ready for the game.
And how true are these rumors? Like people, what the press are like.
Look, he wants to play football, man. He's the type of player that we bought to do a job, to come in. If you have a look at the midfielders, we bought Keita to come in, and if you have a look at his game back in Germany, I think it was Germany. When I used to watch clips, because I watch clips of all the players we signed, from shout out to Scout Nation, to take the ball to transition players. We need the transition players. They're so important for everything that we do. You start a game with 3 players, as much as I love Elliott, that aren't transition players. Keita has not really done the job even when he's played. I still like the guy. There's something about him. I really like him. Okay, we bought Ox before, to be a transition player, to get the ball, to run forward, to drive. Hadn't worked out. I mean, we had the best in Wijnaldum, and I know I'm harping on that. We never replaced that.
Yeah, and like you said,
we've dropped that. We've dropped big time since he left as well. And I know if we had him last season, even though we're 1 point from winning the title, we have Wijnaldum in that team last year. We win the title, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
You hit the nail right on the head last week when, just to touch on, so we got rid of Origi and Minamino pay for Salah's wages, right? And we never replaced them either. Right?
Why would we replace them? They're paying.
Correct. That's what I mean. They're paying for, and that's a very fair point what you said last week. And the more you think about it, well, why didn't we replace them more? Because again, like you said, it's just evidence to support your theory that we did to pay Salah's wages.
And Nunes. That's what the FSG does, though. That's what they do every time, Darren. They just whatever the club makes, they put back into it, but they never put any more investment. And this is the time where now the club needs more investment. Call it inflation, call it world events, whatever it is. The point is, if I want to see a stat, I saw a stat for the top 10 clubs in Europe. We're not even in the top 10 for biggest spenders. We never have been. But I wonder what we are in England. I mean,
I think
just,
we're behind Nottingham Forest. No,
no,
I don't know if that's necessarily true, but that's
it
just
is. It is true because
because I know they spent quite a few. I know there's
they spent
been
over $200 million, but they needed a new team, right? Because they just didn't have the team to
compete in the Premier League. I mean, not that. I mean, they have the team to stay up.
have the team to stay
and
up.
I still think with the team that they've got, they're probably still going to struggle. I think.
But they spent money to try to fix the.
Correct. Yeah, and they want to stay up, and that's the first. That's their first. This is their first Premier League season in a very long time. So
FSG only spend money what they like. And the thing is, if you're looking at midfield, if you're watching that game and you're walking away thinking, we telling me we cannot find a midfield. And look, Jude Bellingham, I don't know, like to me, he's obviously a very, very good player. Klopp will know him from Dortmund. We're going to sign this big English talent. It's going to be over 100 million. I just don't see Liverpool doing that this season. So we got to go out and find someone that it makes sense now, and then obviously in the end of next year we have to get rid of the Ketas if they're not happy. We're going to get rid of Oxlade-Chamberlain, so they're going to go anyway. So it makes sense to get someone in now, even if we get Bellingham next season, because we know we're going to lose Ox, we know we're going to lose Keita, especially Ox. Ox has got to go. Milner's got to go. That's at least two midfielders have got to go anyway by the end of next season. So now we got to.
You need to start getting someone now, and not only because when you get to start, you can't. And then say next year we do have that clear out, and we get 2 or 3 new midfield players. It's probably going to take another season for them to gel together anyway. So then we're behind the 8 ball another season again.
And Henderson's older, another year older. I mean, surely we can't keep Milner again next season. We got to let the guy go. He's got to retire. He's just got to run.
I know, but like, what if we didn't have him this season?
I know. Well, that's the thing. Well, that's the thing, and that's why top 4 is going to be difficult, dude. It's just not. It's. I mean, Arsenal are playing really well. Chelsea had a bad loss. Okay, fair enough. I mean, our one route is probably Chelsea stuffing up because Man City and Arsenal looking. I know again, Newcastle had a 3-3 draw. Look.
Yeah. See, I watched a little bit of that game, and although it was exciting, Newcastle went up 3-1. And City, I thought Sydney were going to pinch it.
Yeah, 100%.
They were
and they're still the complete team, right? And then. Look, for me, I don't feel like we need to, even though Nunes stuffed up and I know Jota's out, I don't feel like, and Firmino wasn't great, but I don't feel like we need to go out now and rush out and get it. And that's being too of a reaction. And we don't do that. There's no even point talking about that. About defense, we still got Kanate and Matip. So there's nothing's going to happen defensively or in attack. And I don't necessarily think we need to rush out and be like a reactive type pundit. It's like, oh, let's go. No, for me, man, but we need a midfielder, and it makes sense. And I'm sick and tired of Klopp coming out. If it makes sense, it makes sense. There's got to be someone available. It does make sense. The only thing that doesn't make sense to me is why doesn't FSG put money back into the football club? That has served them well. Yes, they've turned it around, but this club has done a lot for their profile, has made them a lot of money, and they owe it to the fans to put some extra money into the club, to go and get a centre midfielder who can drive the ball forward. There's got to be someone available. This is bullshit to say that there's no one. And if we don't sign anyone, well, then that's just, for me, spoken loud and clear, that they just don't care. And it is what it is. Prove me wrong. I want to be wrong. I want to come on here, Darren, and say, FSG, love the football club, and I'm wrong. Because at the end of the day, my club wins if that's the case.
Exactly. And, yeah. Look, and like I said, I know, you and I have spoken over the last couple of years, and you've never been FSG's, biggest supportive. And
before Klopp, man, I wasn't.
I mean, I looked down. I think the way that they have run business over, gauged over the last 5 years has done pretty well. Net spend's been down. We've won a Premier League, and we've won a Champions League and been to 3 Champions League finals. But again, we haven't dominated like we should with what we've we should have won more than one Premier League in the past 5 years. You know what I mean? We've been
if we're winning, like I said, if we're winning and we're doing well, then don't invest. I mean, obviously we've been times where I thought we don't need to sign players. I think that when we won,
there was one year where we really didn't. We had a really great. I think it was it would have been last year. I think
19-20 season. There was a season 2 years ago,
so.
I think,
Well, we
where
didn't.
I felt like we didn't really need to go out and splash the cash. Now we need to go out and splash the cash.
Yeah, we have to fit. We need to like if we're going to still continue to compete like we have done the past 5 years. We need to splash some cash, and if we don't, we're in some serious trouble this season. And if it's not fixed, I mean, could we? Look, I know it's early days. Look, I don't want to be. I'm trying not to be negative because
I'm negative.
I am, but I'm trying not to be.
I'm negative, not you. I am.
Yeah, I know, but I am too. I'm just like, but look, it's 3 games. Look, we've turned shit around before. That season where we had a bunch of injuries where we finished 3rd. I apologize too. I said in the last podcast that we finished 4th. I think in episode 2, which was wrong. I meant to say 3rd because we pinched 3rd on the final day. We got there in the end. It's early days, 3 games down. Look, we're not going to. I can't see us at this stage getting anywhere near the top 2. I mean, I think our only hope is to hang out for 3rd or 4th, based on the performance that we've had. If we don't get a midfielder, that's just looking very bleak. But I'll continue to hope that Klopp does have it figured out, and he does have something up his sleeve. But he certainly hasn't had anything up his sleeve the past 3 games. Our players look, everyone look, just.
I mean, FSG bought it from George Gillette, whatever. I mean, that
was horrendous. Those guys, they were criminals. What call the criminals just about those blokes? Hence why I'll never buy Gillette ever for 2 reasons. One because of that, and one because of a stupid ad that they brought out a couple of years ago. That I met a bloke the other day. He was a Liverpool fan as well. He goes, "Man, I'll never buy Gillette for 2 reasons." I'm like, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Why?" One, what they did to Liverpool, and 2, that commercial that they brought out about
what was the commercial?
They were having a dig at that, men being toxic masculine, something about toxic masculinity, and anyway, he goes, and they basically said that made me feel like me as a man who's been married to my wife for 30 plus years, been humble, and that made me feel like that all men were rapists and pigs. I said, just how dare you? So fair enough. And that was his opinion, and that kind of shit. But I had Gillette for the reason of the grub with what he did to Liverpool. They assholes.
Yeah, and then look, and the club has done well, and look, FSG done well from the perspective of they've hired the right people. Our director of football, the transfers we've done, Klopp, everything has been great, and we've appointed smart football people, and it's clearly benefited us. But I'll give them credit for that. It's not all doom and gloom. But the point is, Darren, is now the club is wounded. It needs reinforcements. It needs help. Yeah. We can't just let. I mean, if it, like, what's our option? I mean, how can you not see that everyone can see it? It's up to them to make it happen, or their intentions for this year is loud and clear for me. Yeah. You can speak all about anything you want to talk about past seasons, but it's this season. This is what we're going to just ride the season off already. I mean, we wouldn't do that.
No.
But
you're right. We're wounded. We're on the battlefield, and we're 2 or 3 battalions down, and the enemy
we need reinforcements
approaching on us. So we really need some. We definitely need reinforcements.
We need reinforcements, and it's going to be a real good test, because for me, it's like if they come out with a good signing, then at least I can say, well, we're trying. And yes, I agree, it's got to make sense. But what makes sense? Like, we're going to lose at least Ox and Milner the end of this season. So even if we didn't have all these injuries, it still made sense to sign someone. Now it's dire. If we don't, anything inside the top 4 will be a miracle, and it'll be an extremely great season. If we win a trophy, then I will take my shirt off in the podcast.
The only trophy I'm interested in winning this year was the Premier League, and that's looking glim. Glim, sorry, what kind of word is that? It's looking grim, I should say. Yeah, I mean, who knows? We've got Champions League coming up too soon, and that's going to stretch our squad even thinner. Well.
So how would you rate for me, I'll just tell you quickly, like
you rate I rated the players last week. It's your turn. So we're going to go through, Allison.
I'll give him an 8.
8. Alexander.
And I give the whole back 4 or 6.
You give the whole back 4 or 6? Yeah,
The whole back
call.
4 or 6. Yeah.
Milner.
I'll give him a 5.
5. Cool. Henderson.
No, let's not be too emotional, right?
All right, okay. Hendo.
5.
Elliot.
6.
Salah.
The guy couldn't do anything. I'll give him an 8.
Yeah, cool. Bobby.
4.
4. Diaz.
6.
Cool. We could do subs. Carvalho. What did you think when the subs came on? Fab and Carvalho. What did you think when they came on?
6. I mean, both of them get 6. I mean,
yeah.
Obviously, Fabinho came on. We scored the goal, right? The game was turning, but it was too little, too late.
Correct. Yeah, should have started.
Huge mistake. Carvalho probably should have just probably played up. I don't know what's happened with Bobby this
I
game.
thought he played really well. I mean, like Carvalho looks really good. I mean, come on, the way he controls the ball. You know, I'm excited to see him play more. Again, he's still young, you know. But
yeah, I love all
the
players.
Can we just and that's another thing. Can we just touch on how much of a cheat Bruno Fernandes is? Man, that guy. Like,
but that's
does he go home to his kids at the end of the day and like, mate, what an absolute flog. Diving. His eye falling, holding the ball, carrying on, mate. What an absolute cheat.
When it was Luis Suarez that did that, I remember all the United fans
constantly were
like,
and you would.
He's a dog. But what was that? That wasn't any better. Diving should be a red card in a box.
He got a yellow card for diving. So he got a yellow card for diving. Then he tried to say that I got hit when he was holding the ball from Salah from getting it. He was diving all over the place. The guy's a cheat. I can't stand that guy. He's just, mate. I wish I could swear on. I want to swear so hard. He's an absolute cheat.
If you dive in the penalty box, I think if you dive outside the game, it should be yellow card. I reckon if you dive inside the box to try to get a penalty, I think that should be a red card. Because if you get the penalty, you can change the game. I mean, you can change the whole. I mean, you're talking huge money in this game now, man. Like,
that's right. Like again, you got book
diving in the box should be red card.
Right,
in the box.
Well, there you go. That's and that'd stop all the diving, wouldn't it?
It
would stop all of it. It'd seriously pull people up.
It would tone it down a lot.
100%. But yeah, Bruno, he just, I can't stand that guy. Such a cheat. He carries on, falls to the ground. Like even some of the United played. Like I think it was Martinez at the back. He was fucking falling all over the place as well. Every time he got, just like when Carvalho is half his size and knocked him in the back, and he went, no. I'm like, come on, mate, this kid's half his size, and you went over like a stuffed pig. Like, come on, man. He gets a minute later and wanders off. I'm like, oh, mate, you must be so proud of yourself. I don't know. I come from a different generation where I couldn't do that.
Look,
you couldn't just fall to the ground. I know.
It's professional fouls now. You know what I mean? Like it's all.
Mate,
I agree. But I mean, look, for the most part, they played overall. Yeah, I mean, Bruno's Bruno. I mean, look,
Bruno's a dickhead.
To me, like talking about United just doesn't make much. I already said what I had to say. They
me too. Let's look. They deserve the win. We didn't. We played terrible, and midfield's nowhere. We've got some serious work to do. That aside, dust ourselves off Bournemouth on Saturday. It's going to be. The optimism's slowly starting to drain from me from picking any type of results for the upcoming games. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I mean. Look, I know I reckon we're going to win, right? I say that I reckon we're going to win every week, but if we don't win,
we have to win now.
We have to win. It's at Anfield against Bournemouth. We have to win. Look, and I think it's only going to be a 2-0 win, but if we don't win this Saturday, man, there's going to be lots and lots of issues.
Who won the score prediction last against United? Because we didn't. I said 2-0.
You said 2-0 and I said 2-1. So I don't know. Maybe we should just
I'll give it to you.
Give it to me. I was going to say just null and void it. Call it. Yeah.
No. Give it to you.
All right. So it's 2-1. 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 to Andrew for the score predictions. So I'm picking a 2-0 win for Bournemouth on Saturday.
Against Bournemouth.
Against Bournemouth. Yeah, we're going to
Yeah.
win 2-0. Again, I can't see any dramatic changes. I think I still don't think we're going to play well, but we're gonna. I mean, we're not going to play as bad as we have. We're not going to play fantastic, but I think we'll definitely. I mean, we're Liverpool. What are we talking about? We should be just saying, yeah, we're going to. But here we are. Oh, here I am contemplating whether or not we're going to win against Bournemouth at Anfield on Saturday or not. That's how silly this is. How shocking this season started. Is the fact that we're sitting here talking about whether or not thinking what's going to happen at Bournemouth on Saturday at Anfield too. It's not just for away.
And I go back to I'm scared of going back into the rebuilding phase after being
and that was
successful.
That video that we put out that got a lot of people thinking, and a lot of people like that engaged quite a lot of fans. And if we're not careful, we may head into that rebuilding phase again. If we're not careful, and it doesn't look, and again with the whole midfield thing, if we go another season without getting some signings in that midfield, like you said, with Henderson's 32, Milner's 36, so Milner's gone, Ox is gone. Then what happens? We start getting, we've got a couple of youngsters like Javier and Carvalho, but are we going to end up in a rebuilding phase again? And that's your fear, and it could be coming evident. I hope not, but that's the last thing. That's the last thing we need. We don't want to end up like we were. I mean, I don't want to go back to the
2012.
Yeah, I don't. No,
2011 and 12.
Yeah,
no. I mean, even worse, going back to we had was it Bruno Cheru and
oh, Jesus Christ. A
terrible one.
There's been some horrendous times. That's for sure. There's been some amazing times, of course.
We never under Klopp. I don't think we'll ever get that bad.
No, I don't think we will, and I think we won't go into a rebuilding phase until maybe I don't know, unless whoever comes in after Klopp. I don't know who that'll be.
To me, if we don't, we are going to be in a rebuilding phase. If we don't sign any centre midfielders, we're in a rebuilding phase.
100%. And but
I'm hoping.
Bournemouth Saturday, Andy. What's your thoughts?
I mean, to me, you have to play Fabinho, Henderson, and Elliott. If Keita's available, rest Henderson. Put Keita in there. I mean, Bournemouth, how hard are they going to press us at Anfield? I don't want us to lose that fear of playing Liverpool. But even when the commentators talk about we're playing Liverpool, I'm like, which Liverpool are we playing though? Because they talk about the fear of playing against us. I don't want that fear to drop, and it's dropping. Yeah. And to have a team like Fulham come out and do what they did, and just send a message now to Bournemouth to go, let's take the game. Let's not sit back. Let's take it. So Fabinho, it's got to be a Fabinho, Henderson, Elliott, isn't it? So
it has to be. Yeah.
I mean, I can see us. I don't really see us winning the game, but I'll say 1-0 Liverpool.
Okay, 1-0 Liverpool. Your scorers or your scorer, I should say.
It'll be Salah again. I mean, who else is going to score? I mean, it could be Diaz, but
yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I'm going to say, we're going to win 2-0. Salah's going to score both. Because I can't see goals coming from anywhere else apart from Diaz and Salah at the moment.
Yeah, and Diaz played really well though. He did play well. I mean, I get him 6, but I think he played well.
Again, it was very hard for him. Like he didn't get much ball either. He was trying. He was just getting nothing. Like, but anyway.
Do we miss Mane in that game? Sorry, I won't bring it up anymore. That's it.
Look, we did, but Mane's not going to fix the midfield either, is he? What did you think? Simcast came on too. I forgot. Against you're his number one fan. He loves Simcast because he's Greek. The Greek connection between Andrew and Simcast.
I mean, to me, he lost the ball once and or twice. I mean, he didn't. He didn't.
I love the guy. I love Stuart, to be honest, but you don't rate him at all, eh? Look, don't get me wrong. I think like he was flat against Palace. 100% when he come on, like I mentioned in the previous episode. But anyway, look,
we could have put him. He could have put him in midfield, and it wouldn't have been any different.
Look, Man United's done. Where you and I are still going to cop flack over the next week at least. From
my phone's already buzzing. I can watch it during this podcast.
They were, mate. So we got all these Man United fans coming out of the woodwork again. They're coming out. They're like cockroaches under the floorboards. They're coming out and going, we won. Shut up. Last week, you didn't even want to come to Old Trafford to watch his first Liverpool, and now he's here because he's won. We're
turning it around now.
Yeah, man. They're all coming out like the cockroaches they are.
Fair enough. Keep the passion. Well, at least it's the most passion I've seen all morning regarding Liverpool, Darren. So, thanks, thank you, mate. Guys, yes. I'm sorry for being a little bit doom and gloom. It's just I was physically ill watching that game. So, especially like literally, I'm not even I'm not even being a hyperbole. I literally felt sick in the first half. I felt nauseous.
This was a painful podcast to do.
This
episode was hard. I wasn't looking forward to doing this. I mean, I love this. I love doing the show. This is great. But when it comes to losing, talking about it pains us, doesn't it?
And in the way that we did. But guys, please follow us on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe to us on YouTube. We're getting really, really good. I mean, the amount of followers growing with us trying just to do this in and after work hours and before and after work hours. I mean, this is just a passion project for Darren and I. And Darren does his best uploading videos without any sound. So
TikTok didn't allow me to put up a bit of music that was I've paid for the rights for. So don't understand.
Yeah, I mean that's just a bug. But look, guys, it's been challenging for us to do it all, but so far it's been great, and I thank Darren for all the hard work he's been doing to get the pages promoted. He's doing more work than I am. No, so I'm just coming on here, just whinging and carrying on.
But the support's been unreal so far, and I'm really grateful for everyone that's been following it so far. It's been really good. Again, keep engaging. If you know anyone who's interested, I think we had a guy message us. I can't remember his name, and I apologize if he's listening. He's a Liverpool expat from Liverpool, lives over here. He's gone back to England for the Bournemouth and Newcastle game. He's coming back and he wants to be a guest on the show. So awesome. We're going to bring him on probably after those couple of games. I'll liaise with him and you and I will chat to him. And I've
DM'd Fabio Aurelio to come on the show. I don't think it's going to happen, but hey,
you never know. Don't ask, you don't get, man. It could be. Yeah, we got to we'll keep trying. We'll get someone on. We'll get someone on eventually.
This wasn't a game to get anyone on though, but
the Man Cave United, shout out to those guys. I think they've been they're following us now, and they do pretty good over there. And it would have been good. Maybe next game we should probably try and do a watch along with them or something if we can organise it. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, especially if it's a 9:30 Saturday game.
I don't think it will be because by the next time we play United, daylight savings hits here in New South Wales. It'll be more than likely. Yeah, I mean that's why the first part of the season is always the best because we get early kickoffs on of a Saturday night here. It's usually not coverage from 8:30 at night. But then once daylight savings hits in October, the game, the earliest game usually gets 10:30, 11 o'clock. But that's all right.
We'll try. We'll work it out. Well, thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Wonderful. Like and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Call me a whinger, I don't mind.
Mellor, lovely cushioned header. But Gerrard! Oh, you beauty! What a head